Hi, welcome to another edition of Starting Over with La Beams, the Soul Show. Yes, SOWL, Starting Over with La Beams. This is the show where I just encourage you. If you find yourself at crossroads, you need to start over just to encourage you and make you realize that you're not alone. Other people have walked that path, I've walked that path, and I can tell you, I'm just here to encourage you, like I said, and just cheer you on, let you know that look, you can do it. Just keep going, okay? You can do it. If you've missed past editions, you can catch them on my YouTube channel, Labims TV, Labims TV. Please make sure you subscribe. There's a playlist on there called Starting Over with Labims. So please binge on it. I've spoken about different, and I continue to speak about different parts on the journey of starting over. Like I always say, experience is the best teacher, but doesn't necessarily have to be your own experience. Okay, you can leverage on the experiences of other people so that you avoid some curves and turns. You know what to expect, and then you're just better off for it. And that's what I try to do with the Soul Show. I just talk through experiences I've gone through. I cannot talk about any other person, what I've gone through. So you can just pick the one that will be valuable to you. Drop the one that you don't want, but at the end of the day, I know that you pick something. And like I always, even if it's just one person that gains value from this show, my work is done. But I know it's only one person. So please be sure you subscribe to the channel, share, and then pick what you can from it. So I don't know, I think this episode 8 or 9, I'm not sure right now, but like I do this every other week. I'm not yet very, very consistent with it because I just started it a few months ago, maybe 2 months ago or so. But anyone that you catch, just know that it's going to be of value. So today's one, I'm just going to be talking about how it is not easy starting over. So I'm not here to make anybody feel like, oh, because I eventually, note the word eventually, got myself together, doesn't mean that I'm making light of what anybody else is going through. In fact, I had a triggering moment yesterday with the latest movie from Tyler Perry titled Straw. Yeah, where people have been crying and crying and crying. Me that I can cry for Africa, but it was triggering for me because it was talking about a single mom and a lot of the challenges that she went through and all. Now, in as much as that is a fictional portrayal, the fact is I could relate with so many things that the lady went through. And it is the same for so many other single mothers as well, single moms. Now, this show, Starting Over with Labins, is not about single moms. Basically, it's just about anybody that is starting over. But because I'm a single mom, I can talk about some of the challenges I've gone through. Because honestly, being a single mom and then trying to navigate life by yourself is hard. Trying to navigate life with you and a spouse or a partner is not easy. Now imagine it just being you and then with children. You yourself, you are clueless. The children too, they are clueless. So clueless, the blind leading the blind, so to speak. But somebody has to just step up. That is just it. But the truth is, we go through so many issues. It is not easy. And because sometimes we make it look as if it's easy, doesn't mean it's easy. The load is heavy, very heavy. Although I can say I became a single mom even right from I was a single mom even in marriage, but let me just be what's the word now, objective right now, yeah, and not be emotional about it. But let me just say officially that the single mom journey started when my children were 7 and 4 respectively. Now, to the glory of God, they're almost 23 and 20. Yeah, I give God the glory. So imagine I made all those years, yeah, by myself, and then I didn't even have, initially I had a good job, then after that I didn't have a job anymore. I had to go from scratch. And like I always tell people, look, going from grass to grace is always a very sweet story where, oh, things were really rough and then things became good. But when you now go from when things were really good to now things were really rough, it's horrible. Because let me tell you this, people that used to look at you with that eye of, oh, where you were up there, they now start looking at you with the eye of, oh, you're down here. And then when you're now trying to climb up, it's very hard for them to I don't know, to, how will I put the word now, to marry the two or to see you back in that position, because they are now used to seeing you in that low position. Case in point, I decided I was not going to say it, but I have to say it because it keeps coming to my mind. I remember when I was going through serious challenge, 2 things, very serious. Like there was a time there was nothing, like there was nothing for us to eat, and this was after I started a job, a media job and all of that, and I was just still trying to, but the salary wasn't enough, things were just not. Anyway, I reached out to a couple of people that, please, can you just help me with 10,000 naira, blah, 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 blah. I need to buy food in the house, this one, that one. And 2 of them replied me. One was even like, sis, Bimba, I'm sure that your maybe I think your WhatsApp has been hacked or something. I got this message from you. Maybe someone is. I was like, no, it was me. Because they couldn't They were like, oh, seriously, are you going through this? Because they couldn't understand the bimbo that they see that shows up and everything. And then she did not even have anything to eat to feed her children, that kind of thing. And that is it. Now, us, okay, I'll say us anyway, trying to, put our best foot forward, trying to look like all is well and all of that does not mean that, how will I explain this? Does not mean that we still don't need support. But the truth is, you can't keep showing up in a broken version of yourself all the time, because that means you continue to internalize that brokenness, and then you will not be able to step out. You understand what I'm saying? So because things are not going well does not mean I should look haggard or look like woe is me or whatever. The second example was, I had some issues. Like I said, it's always financial. Most times financial issues top it. There's also emotional issues. So I still had emotional breakdown a couple of days ago. Okay, so don't get it twisted. So anyway, what was I trying to say? So financial, right? I borrowed a loan to start up then I became an independent presenter, because I used to present I used to work with a radio station, and I said, oh, let me go independent and all of that, because the radio station I was working for, the show I was doing started to bring in stuff and bring in a lot of sponsors and all of that. And so the show I created from scratch, content, presentation, everything and all of that. And I just got tired of the whole red tape of it and all of it. And I said, okay, let me try on my own. So I borrowed money to start out the show. So I had to pay a radio station to be presenting my show on their platform and everything. And then it was from a loan shark, and then the loan shark started coming after me and all of that, and it was really tough. So I reached out to a couple of my friends that were doing well, and I was like, look, please borrow me this money. They didn't even say give it to me. Please borrow me this money and everything, because the message I got from the loan shark was terrible and everything. So I sent this message to a couple of my friends. So of course people were like, oh, don't have this one down. And then another one that I thought would even help me. And that is I've spoken about it on one of these editions. Stop that entitlement mentality. Nobody owes you anything. So don't be thinking that because this one seems to have money, they'll be able to help you. Number one, you don't even know what's going on behind the scenes of their own lives as well. And then number two, they just might not want to. And then number three, they just might not have it at that time, whatever the case may be. But anyway, because I was in a very, very horrible situation and everything, one of my friends I used to work with Silverbird had sent me some movie tickets. So to just ease myself, my daughter was like, look, mommy, you're just, my BP was going up and everything. She was like, mommy, let's just go and watch the movie. Let's go to the cinema. Let's just go and watch movie and everything. So I said, okay. So we went to see a movie at the cinema, all right? Now, one of my friends that I'd reached out to, I think a day or 2 days before, we now met at the cinema. And the way she looked at me, she was like, Bimbo, so you came to the cinema? Like, wasn't that you that was asking for money yesterday or something like that? And, she was like, and her expression, even my daughter was like, mommy, why is this person behaving like this? Like, she just kept one kind of the expression on her face. I said, okay, like, I did someone that we gist with, and everything. So of course she should have been like, but she just felt like, I maybe in her mind, she felt I was just begging. Do you know what it is to beg someone for money? Do you know what it is to reach out to someone and say, please, can you help me with some money? It is not easy. It's not about pride, but it is not easy, because it means that you've dropped every ounce of pride in you. You've just let everything out. You're asking. So if I ask you, and that's why when people reach out to me and ask me for money, and I don't have to give them, I always feel very, very bad, because I know what it takes for you to reach out and ask someone. But unfortunately, you don't know what's going through with that person, right? So I was not feeling anyhow because she did not help me with the money. But where I felt very bad was the way she was like, so you came to the cinema. So in other words, you are looking for money, but you can still come to cinema. Do you understand? You are looking for money. And that is it. A lot of people, the way people look at you, what they portray on you, because you are going through turbulent times, is as if, oh, you should not live life. You need to live life even while you're going through your starting over moments. Even when things are, you need to live life. You need to take time out to actually, just breathe. Just breathe. If it's going to the cinema, breathe. Yeah, I know you're like, that money. Because for me, funny enough, that cinema ticket, I did not buy it with my money. It was a friend that actually sent me the tickets and was like, oh, Bimbo, just go, out of the blues. So, but for you looking at me and thinking, oh, so you can afford, I think that time movie ticket was 1.5 or 2.5, I can't remember. So you can afford 1.5 to go, but you were begging for money and everything. So I need to just, today's SOWL show it's just to also talk to people, See, you never know what anybody's going through. I can't go about my life and be carrying a placard and saying, oh, things are tough for me, things are rough for me, oh, woe is me. I can't, even though things might not be that easy. Because, I need to also ginger myself. Dressing up, looking good, dancing actually helps me. Do you get what I mean? So, if you're starting over, just understand that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Don't get it twisted. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have moments like that where some people will undermine you, some people will even look downward, some people, and they might be your friends, talk less of even strangers. So you need to know that I need to develop a thick skin. That's all I've come to say today, okay? All right, don't forget to catch past editions of the Soul Show on my YouTube channel, Labeams TV. Remember to subscribe, okay, right? Till I come up with the next edition. My name remains Bimbo Olasokwe, aka Labeams. For me right here, bye, stay safe.